Something different tonight. Broke out Linnell's other guitar. I want to thank everybody for coming to the live streams each week. I'm at really a loss of words for how the channel has changed over the last actually 6 or 7 months. And this is just me saying thanks to everyone that comes to the live streams. And, you know, if you're not here directly during the live and you go back and you watch the live streams later on, that's even cooler. You know, YouTube takes a little bit of time to actually upload the chat. If you come and watch it live, I take monitoration off so there's no commercials. And I usually don't put that back on for usually 2 or 3 days. So if you're wanting to catch up, I know you want to see the chat. That's the issue. Sometimes YouTube can take 2 days before the chat actually appears on the video. So I do try to wait before I hit the button, and you got to persevere through all the ads. But again, I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming and hanging out. The channel was started to kind of offset what I saw on YouTube. I was reading some of the posts on Discord. YouTube is a funny place. It takes a lot of money. It really does. Even this small channel, if I count the money in my basic microphones, cords, stands, just little things that I've had to get to do this very simple live stream. Versus when I was just recording videos, I would probably say we've already spent, I don't know, maybe 1700, maybe even $2,000, just changing up things to where we can do a moderate quality live stream. You know, when I first started YouTube, we bought different cameras. I made some changes there, put some money in it. So I get what happens to YouTubers. You get to the point where you don't want to produce a failed video. You get one or two videos that seem to do well, and then you start producing things and it just doesn't seem to get any traction. So you've got to create clickbait or make something out of nothing. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And it's got to be hard on channels that have put themselves in that position. They're reviewing a guitar and they don't want to necessarily say anything bad about it because they need that content. They need that vendor or supplier or manufacturer to send them something in the future so they have something to review. Very few manufacturers are going to take criticism well and go, okay, this is what they think. We've got a bad product. Let's fix it and send him another one. I'm not saying those manufacturers aren't out there. They are. But what I see on YouTube is different than that. You don't make much from what I understand. Now, this is complete layman. I am not a YouTuber. I don't make a living on YouTube. That's what keeps this channel extremely simple and also keeps this channel 100% honest, because either the viewers here have given super chats and we purchased things to review, or I have went out and purchased it myself, reviewed it, fixed it, and sold it. I am going to say that we're probably at 50%. There have been guitars that I pretty much sell just for parts to fix them. So I eat the guitar and then also eat on my labor. That's what it's about, because this channel also does repair videos, but I can only show fret leveling so many times. At what point do you kind of go, I've already done that? I've tried to diversify even my setup videos. I used to fret level this way. I used to fret level that way. I used to do it this way, you know. So I've tried to show a bunch of different ways using a couple different tools doing it. I've showed 2 different ways of polishing frets, just one pass. I've also showed if you use 2 different compounds. I've shown just using fret erasers and not using a Dremel tool to polish the frets. But at that point, it's new people coming into the channel. They may not have seen something I did 2 years ago. So I keep refreshing, and then I also keep learning. So I hope that someone can come in and go back and go, wow, he's doing it this way, and on another video might be doing something a little different. Like I did one video where I didn't do the tape trick on the neck. It completely escaped my mind. When I went to take the tape off, I'm like, it's my own tape trick and I forgot to do it. So little mistakes like that, I think, makes the channel real. And boy, did I make a doozy one last night. YouTube is always a little behind. Some nights it lags more than other nights. I did go back and watch last night's stream. I'm not going to edit the video because I think the words that I used on reviewing the guitar was accurate. I don't want to misinform anybody, and my big concern was the guitar come from another YouTube channel. The last thing this channel wants to do is really upset another channel. I don't know how many subscribers that channel has. I'm sure they have a lot more than I do, simply because of how YouTube works and how viewership works. If you're giving a guitar away every week, you're going to get a subscriber count that goes up. Period. You're going to get it. Now, as Searching for Tone told me one time, he said that giving a guitar away is not a good way of getting subscribers. The person that wins it, you probably never see them again. Maybe. But YouTube and vendors sending you products see subscriber numbers. So I see people that have 100,000 subscribers, and they really don't get much traction on some of their videos. This channel, I do have a couple videos that have done really, really well, and our subscriber count is really low. And I even fall into that trap. I want to have subscribers. But I would rather have 150 or 200 people that I know are going back and watching my stream, and I know they're there because each stream within that week gets 200 to 300 views. Okay, those views, according to YouTube analytics, 80% of those are subscribers. Only 20% are non-subscribed going back and watching our live channel. And I think some of that on the analytics is probably people popping in while it is live, checking out a couple minutes of it, and then leaving. I guess tonight we're not going to review a guitar because we reviewed one last night. I was going to, and I didn't want to rush doing a little card and rush doing a setup. I want to make sure that my reviews are good. I don't want to rush through and create bad content. Now, if I make mistakes during the review, so be it. It's a live review. I've come to terms with misfretting, not playing always perfect some nights, missing something in the review, or misspeaking. It's live. But each time I do it, I think I get a little better. But I don't want to become a robot, if that makes sense. But Linnell today did go to the music store. So I want to kind of show you guys what I had ordered. And this was ordered when we first talked about getting my rack mount tube rig up and running. And we had pretty good success last time. We were doing one overhead mic in the room. We had two SE microphones, which I have right here. Those are my two SE microphones. We had one microphone on the left driver and one microphone on one of the right drivers. It is a stereo cabinet, so I need to have mics on both sides. Actually, I think the last time we used the left side of the PV, which has greenbacks in it, and then I rolled my Penta cabinet over, which has Celestion Pentas in it, and we had one of the microphones on the Pentas. So what I want to do to kind of, there's tricks that you can do in the studio. A lot of what you guys hear, especially in 80s recording, it's double tracked. And if they didn't play the track twice, they put a couple millisecond delay on the second track and change the effects a little bit, and it thickens the sound. What we do is pretty much the exact same thing. When you put multiple microphones in front of it, let's say we use one of these, little Beta 57, okay? We use one of these, and we also use one of the SA microphones, okay? So you got two totally different microphones. They have two totally different characteristics. You're going to get two totally different sounds, even though it's the same amp. Now, you can use the same microphone and just point the mic at a different location on the driver. That, too, will give you a completely different sound. But The SM57 is kind of an industry standard. Now this is a beta, so it's a little hotter, a little fuller sounding, but it's not technically the standard. The 57 is the standard. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have one microphone and another microphone right above it like that, miking the driver. That way I get two different signals. But if you look at the way the stand's made, I can only put one microphone on this stand because it has like a little mic clip right here. So I needed a way of being able to thread, and this one is stuck pretty good. So I don't know who the guy was that over tightened the mic thing. Might have to get the other one. Let's see how the other one is. Can I get this one undone? Now I got both of them pretty tight. Well, isn't that awful? Well, it's not awful. They're supposed to be tight, but they're not supposed to be so tight that you can't get them off. There it goes. So we're going to unthread this particular mic clip. And then I'm going to show you what I picked up. So there's our piece. So here's our stand. It's a little mini boom. It's made by Gator Frameworks. And I like this stand. It's pretty heavy. The base on this thing's heavy. So when you boom it out, say like that, and we spin this around, we lock it. I can really set that way out like that, and this weighted stand will carry the load. So here's what I got. I'm going to set that right there so it's not kind of blocking me. I already opened one of these. So this allows you to put multiple mics on one stand. This was like $17 a piece. And I was going to build like a dual clamp type thing with two clamps, a clamp on this end, a clamp on this end, and put a bar across it. And then use my little microphone clamps for my cameras and stuff. Then I started calculating that each little clamp that I use is $16. And then you've got to buy the adapter to go from the small pin to the larger pin. So this seemed like the logical solution. And it took about 3 weeks for this to come. So basically, what we have here is we have 4 standoffs, and these spin. So what I can do is I can actually thread this microphone clip right onto here, okay? So if we thread that one onto here, let's thread it on here. And of course there's a couple different spots, but I'll just thread it on the center one here. And then this spins and allows you to rotate that, and then you can lock it. So there's the first one. Okay, that's with the SA, or SE mic, sorry, I keep saying SA. So here's our SM57. So this is the Shure clip. So we're going to stick this one right here. And like I said, you can loosen this one and then get them to point in a certain fashion. Then load this microphone. Now, you can see one's longer than the other. So what you could technically do is, as this thing is sitting like this, I could spin this back like that. So if I loosen this one, I set it at an angle. Then I loosen this one, set it at an angle. if I roll the mic like that, they're pretty much even. Does that kind of make sense? And get it to where they're even with themselves as you pitch this. So it looks like it needs to be about right there, like that. So lock it. Somewhere in that ballpark. And then this little guy will thread onto here. Probably shouldn't have put the microphones on yet. But I like living dangerously.
You got a super chat from Niles.
Ooh, thank you, Niles. We are right now saving money for a new board because the board is not happy. So if I set this stand like that, I can roll this. Now granted, this is a lot of cantilevered weight. So we can move this in, lock it, and I could set that in front of the driver, and I can move this back and forth, and I can change the direction this way, and then lock it. So if I want to face it to the cone, let's pretend the side of the cone's there, I can also take this one and kind of hit the upper edge of the cone, and I can move this way or this way. So you can move it any direction you want. Plus, you can move it this way, and I can move the two mics like that by spinning it back and forth. So if I want more 57, I can do that. Now the 57's here. There's a good 4 or 5 inches where this is in front. Or the exact opposite. If I want more of the SE, I can roll it like this. Okay. Lock it. And if they start getting too close, I've got another clip here. I got another clip up here. So I can get more separation like that. Now, the SE and this, they're pretty much even face-wise to one another. So this is the apparatus that I come up with that I thought would be cheaper than using what I had been using. So this one bar was $17, but it gives you 4 different mic positions. So I've got another one here and another one here. So I could technically, since there's 2 drivers, hit the top driver, hit the lower driver, or keep it like this and just hit a single driver. And then of course you still got the boom going this way, and then I can also angle the boom this way. So the next time we set it up, I may try this. But this will give us multiple feeds because remember, I'm using a DI box. It's a little pedal that I can load cab IRs to. So I'm coming out of the mains. I have 2 sets of main outputs of the preamp into that little cab simulator pedal. I can pick a cab that runs to the Mackie. That's 1 signal in stereo. Then I'll have 2 SE microphones, 1 on each cabinet. Okay, that's our second signal. Then I can have the 2 Shure mics. That's our third signal. Of course, all these are stereo. So that's 7 channels or 6 channels. Once you figure your room overhead that gives it room ambience and reverb, that would give you 7 channels just on the guitar cabinet. Now granted, it's 3 stereo cabinets, 3 stereo signals and 1 mono signal. But you can blend, okay, that to taste. And believe it or not, there'll be a huge difference in the sound that each one of those do. They really will. You can change your IR on the one pedal, which is going to change it. If you want more of the IR sound, you just pull that part of the mix up, and lower here, and the room mic. If you want more of the SE, or you get the point. So this was my solution. I think we started talking about this, about 2 months ago. So it took me 2 months to purchase 2 of these stands, 2 of these guys, 2 SE microphones, and 2 of the mic cables. These stands were like $50 a piece, so there's 100. The SE microphones, these are matched pairs. These were 200, okay, and then these guys were 17, and then about $30 per cable. And that's just to mic the cabinet. Again, let's circle back. It's the cost of YouTube. I think that's why we see so many, that I guess I'm old, and analytics on, kind of show me that. My main listening audience is 50 to 70. And that's fine. I have no issues with that. That's my generation. That's the generation that listens to the music that I listen to. So it makes sense. That's the music I play. That's the generation and the group of people that I grew up around. The younger generation, they have a different sound. So I also try to play that kind of stuff too. We want to welcome them in. Their experiences using equipment and guitars and stuff, that's a new outlook. How do they EQ? How do they tune the instrument? I think the more things that we learn, the better we become, if that makes sense. So I do want to bring newer, a different, fresh approach. Is that the younger audience? Maybe. It could be the even older audience, because the early 70s, late 60s, that sound is what developed the 80s sound that I love. The grunge movement, where do you think that sound come from? You got it. It was influenced by the 70s and 80s. The new stuff, it's all over the place. It's influenced by all kinds of different things. I'm kind of just rambling tonight because I want to be careful how I approach my main topic. I mentioned it really quick last night on the stream. I had watched some reviews on YouTube, and I saw creators dancing around the issue. And I guess I do it too, because last night I didn't want to say anything negative towards Fretnot. I did not want to say anything negative towards Donner, because I don't know who did what and when and where. The only thing I know for certain is the guitar, and the guitar as it is right now. So I review it as I receive it. I've said that many times. It's one guitar, and I am one opinion. Before I went into the review, I had seen reviews on this guitar. I've seen good reviews on this guitar. I don't think I've seen a negative review on the guitar. That doesn't mean that they were all truthful. And again, I'm going back to one of the topics on Discord. Our channel's paid to demo products. Sure they are. But they also have affiliate links. If, let's say, a channel with 50,000 subscribers, okay, sells or has a link for a $300 guitar, how many of those guitars do you think they're actually going to sell? They got 50,000 subscribers. You think they're going to sell 5? 10? Well, on Amazon, when I had my affiliate link page, which Amazon has yet to fix, I could make, I don't know, maybe $6, $7 on one guitar. That's it. Because there's different tier groups in Amazon depending on what you're selling. So there's really no money in Amazon affiliate links. Where they get you, and you may not be aware of this, If I have an Amazon link on my YouTube page, and you guys use my link to go look at a guitar, that's great. You don't have to buy the guitar. But tomorrow, when you go on Amazon, you order that TV, I get commission on that TV. That's right. Because the last clickable link that you clicked on was through me. So Amazon gives me the commission on that TV. If you buy food, you buy car tires, you buy dress, you buy underwear, you buy socks, within the first 5 or 7 days, somewhere in that window, if you've clicked on my link and you haven't clicked on any other link taking you to Amazon, I'm getting that commission. That is the difference. So you may not have bought the guitar, but maybe you went and bought a mattress, or bought new car tires for your car, or bought 500 pounds of dog food. Whatever it is. Whatever channel that you clicked on in YouTube, they're getting a commission for that product, even though they didn't do a review. That's how the Amazon link truly works. Are they selling a couple guitars? I'm sure they are. But a channel at 50,000, they're not moving that much product. That's not what they're banking on. They're banking on you going back to Amazon and purchasing your everyday items, like paper towels. Like we get our filters pre-done. They just show up. Amazon fulfills that order for our little Wix filters, our furnace filters, and a couple other little dumb things. They just kind of show up. I was getting guitar strings, and I eventually had to stop it because I was getting so many guitar strings. I kind of slowed down in the shop downstairs for a while, and then I ended up with like 20 sets of guitar strings that I didn't need. So we kind of slowed down on that. But if you've clicked on that link, okay, for that pre-order every 3 months, and mine affiliate link was the last one you clicked on, I'm going to keep getting that commission until you cancel that return order. Whether it's 10 years or 5 years, whatever it is, I'm going to get that commission. With that being said, I think that's what I saw this week. There's a guitar company, I'll call them out by name. Like I said, I've got no skin in the game. This Alcalot, A-L-K-O-T. I saw 3 different channels review this guitar, and what they ended up doing was they had a push-pull right here, and they didn't wire the push-pull. Push-pull's there, it works, but the pickup isn't wired to the push-pull. What if the first guy danced around the topic, all he, about this and about that it was the company's elective not to wire it, so you had the decision whether or not you wanted to wire it or not. So if you didn't want to use it, you didn't have to wire it. But if you wanted it, you could wire it. Second channel pretty much said the exact same thing as the first channel. They all 3 kind of parroted the exact same thing. Here's a concept. Instead of just not wiring it and giving you the option not to wire it so you don't have to use it, if you wire it, I don't have to pull the little knob. I've elected not to use that push-pull. That's the true story behind it. Now, I don't know how many of those guitars they made, and they claim on the next order, the next batch, they're going to fix it. That's fine. But don't tell your audience that it's something the manufacturer did to give you the election on whether or not you want to use it. You have the election whether or not you want to use it if you wire it. That's why it's called a push-pull. I've started really paying attention to this stuff, and I guess I'm guilty of it I think we're all guilty of it to a certain degree. We want to like things. I want to like that Donner sitting right there. And at the first part of the review, I watched it today. As the review went, my attitude and patience just kind of we're willing to accept certain things. Okay, we are. We know we're buying a budget instrument. Okay, I got a bad fret. I got a jack that's a little too sticky. I've got a nut that isn't cut right, and the strings are, as I turn the tuning key, they pop, or it's not holding tune when I bend it. The strings are sticking. One or two little items. Yeah, we're quite forgiving people. We're musicians. We just love guitars. But when that list starts stacking up, okay, and it keeps stacking up, then you gotta call a bird a bird. It's not a squirrel. It's not a gerbil. It's a bird. Or what do they say? Call a duck a duck. The guitar is fixable. What I have an issue with is I just see it too much. I'm not a Firefly fanboy. I've done some reviews on some Firefly that really put them in bad light. This won't be my last Donner. I give Leo James 5 guitars. I reviewed 5 Leo James. All of them had the exact same issue. One of them was completely unplayable and didn't even make it to the demo section. This guitar at least did make it to the demo section. The headless Leo James that I reviewed, it was just non-playable. It was truly non-playable. The neck pocket, nothing about that guitar was CNC'd properly. It was just stuck together and someone stuck strings on it and they put it in the box. It was unplayable. I tried to go downstairs and just do a neck shim, but the programming and the offset of the neck to the body was just so far off. The only way I can fix that guitar is I'm going to have to shave the base part of the neck, probably about 3/16 of an inch on the back and about probably almost a quarter in the front to pitch the neck. It's out that much. They had to know there was a problem. Well, when they couldn't produce the guitar anymore, no one bought them. About a year ago, they started selling that guitar in a kit form, and I assume these were just the leftover parts that they didn't want to, assemble and try to sell. So they put them on Amazon for like $89 and sold them as kits. I don't necessarily see that product anymore, but I never saw another YouTube channel call Leo James out on it. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking about this tonight. I feel so bad. I guess primarily because the guitar last night come from another channel. And the last thing I want to do is upset another channel. I have not received an email from them. I have not received an email from Donner. I haven't received an email from anybody over it. So please do not take what I'm saying as, oh, Avery's received an email from someone. I haven't, and I most likely won't. This channel really doesn't get involved in all that, but I do have feelings, and I have morals, and I have just a common courtesy about me and about things. And I don't take anything too lightly. So I don't want anyone... Does that kind of make sense, or am I just rambling? The review I did is 100% spot on. And at the end of the review, I want to apologize for that as well. If I was going to say something like that, I should have just said it in the review. And looking back at the review, I pretty much did say that. I just said it in a very polite way. When I watch it, it almost makes me look like a fake because I didn't say that. I didn't say it in that light during the review. But I did say it, I just didn't say it in that fashion. So I not only am I seeing other things on YouTube, I know that I have a lot of growing to do as well. And I appreciate, that's why I started the stream saying I appreciate everyone tuning in. I am a human being, I make mistakes. But I try to learn by my mistakes, if that makes sense. So if I upset anyone by that review, I apologize. If you saw a side of me that you like, that is me. I don't hide who I am. You don't have to necessarily agree with me. You don't have to believe the things that I believe. But you can honestly believe this. When I say something, there's merit behind it. Okay? I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying we all need to look at other people's point of view and try to understand where they're coming from. Does that kind of make sense? That's why at first, when I started the channel, it was here to offset the sales channels, the people that were chasing the Amazon money, kickback money, or, people talk, well, they got a free guitar. They worked their butt off for that free guitar. Because now granted, there's very few reviews I've watched on YouTube that go into the detail that Phil McKnight does a really good review. The Troglodyte Show, he does a pretty good review. They're great shows. I watch them. And there's a guy that's guitar amp tech guy. I forget the name of his channel. He goes to a lot of the guitar shows and stuff. And he sometimes does some guitar oriented stuff that I like watching. But I don't want to change the fundamental principle of this channel. If it grows slow because of that, so be it. How many people of the 2,200 and some subscribers that this channel has actually look forward to a review from this channel? I'm going to throw out a number, probably maybe 300, max 400. I am 100% realistic to know that a lot of those numbers are people that just came in, clicked, and the bell isn't lit. They've probably even forgotten that they've subscribed to the channel. Because unless you hit notify all, you're probably not getting a notification that I'm uploading a video. I hear it all the time with YouTube. So I look at my numbers and I want to be better, but I also want to keep it as a tight-knit community. Can you do both? I don't know. But I know that it's more tight-knit now than it was a year ago. So I think whatever it is that we're doing, okay, as a group, it seems to be working. We're all about learning. If someone has a suggestion on this channel, okay, you guys know the channel. If you're here watching me ramble and rant, then you're used to the channel. You know why it's here. You know how I am and my point of view on guitars. And even the Made in America conversation. Most of my equipment, believe it or not, guys, up until about 2 years ago, was all USA made. Is there such of a thing anymore? Not really. Most of our electronics and stuff's all made overseas. So I don't want someone saying that I push imports. If I could buy another Digitech Studio S200 made in the United States, brand new today at 24-bit, or a plug-in that's designed and was wrote here in the States, I would do it. And I would pay extra for it. I'm that kind of person. I ran Dave Hafler power amplifiers for years. When people were going, buy Crown, it's 1/4 of the price and it's 1/4 of the weight. I said, no. I like my Dave Hafler amps. If I have a problem, I can pick up the phone and I can speak to Mr. Hafler on the phone. Yes, I know the amplifier weighs 100 pounds, and I have 6 of them in that rack. But that's okay. I'm not buying a Crown because it's made somewhere else and the fluorescent lights tear them up. I stuck to that gun until I got my first Yamaha Japanese amp. That was my first Japanese amplifier right there. It's a monster. It's that amp will produce what 4 DH500s will do, and it'll do it all day long. Does it have the bottom end and recovery that the Haflers have? No. But it was a quarter of the price, and I got 4 times the power. That's how we view budget guitars. We're looking for something that we can take our hard-earned money and buy, and we can justify that cost. I work hard for my money. The last thing I want to do is spend $1,200, $800, even $500 on a guitar that's just a piece of junk. So, again, I started this channel to give honest opinions of these budget guitars. So, I don't know why I feel like I'm trying to justify myself. But there's days where I look at my YouTube channel and I wonder, is what I'm doing making a difference? Or the other channels out there that do what they do, and that's fine, I get it, they're trying to supplement their income on it. Can you really offset that? Or is it not even my place to say anything, that if the viewer doesn't see the BS in the video, or someone teaching you how to file frets with a Sawzall, if you can't see that that's obviously wrong, then maybe you need to stay there and screw up one of your guitars and buy a substandard instrument and waste your money. Is that my normal philosophy? No. I kind of look at that and I hear myself say it, and it sounds heartless. And I guess, again, I have so much of a heart that I feel bad that people fall for this. And I come down to, is what I'm doing going to make a difference? If I think Searching for Tone, I know he always comes in and says, your channel's better. The man says a lot of things that makes a lot of sense. One time he said, if I can get one person on each video, enlighten them or change them or make them understand, I've done my job. And I kind of agree with that. And I've been trying to look at that. Okay, if I can get just one person to see this video, that'll go, you know what? Maybe I should go look at those other reviews with different pair of glasses on, with a fresh new approach. Can I see through the BS? If I've done that, did it help them? I don't know. I have not had the chat open, and if Linnell's been talking, I haven't heard her because I don't have my headphones on. Would the funny honey like to say something?
Am I in a hole?
No, she's not in a hole. But guys, can you guys hear her any better tonight? We did make some changes. You can speak again, hon.
I'd rather not.
Hopefully you guys could see her. She's not down in a bean can
No,
tonight.
They cannot see me.
No, they can't see you, honey.
Well, you said hopefully you can see me.
Yeah, well, they're looking at you right now.
No, they aren't.
Yes, they are.
No.
Yeah, I moved the camera.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. Look,
Stop
look,
it, you're
look through
making me talk.
look through the little door there. Can you all see Linnell? She's got her little foot up. She's got her mic. There's her mic stand. We actually got her a nice mic. Now she's trying to hide. There she goes. All right, we're going to change cameras, honey. So that's Linnell's little desk in there. She's the helper that you guys hear in the background yelling comments. Yeah. So we want to thank Linnell for everything she does for the channel. We also want to thank Devastator. He's one of our monitors. He is here every week. I mean, religiously. every week. Okay. I also want to thank Jerry Dover, and I want to thank Mike. Mike doesn't come in very much. Mike's very busy. But every person that is affiliated with the channel has done so much for me as a person and helped me grow. I just want to thank them. I couldn't, we would not be at this point without them. And again, you could see her sitting in the room there with her microphone. We'll switch it back. She's got her foot up in there. So that's our little setup that we have going. And you might hear the difference in actually my audio tonight because I am down to one microphone because I gave her the better microphone, the other SE microphone in there. So she should sound a lot better. But back to the rant. If you guys feel that I need to open up a little bit more and just let it fly, we can do that. I'm very cautious. I don't want to upset anyone. I mean, this is something we're supposed to enjoy and love. So when I see channels I feel are just pushing something so they can get a kickback, I truly think in today's world, in the marketing that goes behind things, they're doing everyone a disservice, if that makes sense. How can you push a product that you know is just awful, and you know it's not just adults buying these budget guitars. It's a lot of mom and pops buying their kids a guitar, and that's going to be their first instrument. That's what they're going to attempt to learn on. And I say this all the time, if you're going to buy your child an instrument, I hear it all the time, well, he might not stick with it. Well, if you buy him a piece of junk with the action height so high that they can't play it, I can guarantee you they're not going to stick with it. Skateboards, bicycles, Xboxes, Nintendos, model rockets, helicopters, RC cars. I can't fathom the stuff that I bought for my kids that they got into, and then big time into it, and then all of a sudden, nope, now I'm into whatever that razor thing was that twists with the two wheels.
Jupe said you're doing fine. It just takes time to grow.
Yeah. So that's my point. If you buy something for your kid, make sure it's something decent. Look back when you were a kid, and everyone has something that they begged their parents for, and their parents just got them whatever. And then when you were adults, you went back and you bought it, and you're like, I knew I'd like it. There's got to be, it might not have been everything, even if you were very fortunate, you had a very fortunate family, there's still something that you always wanted that your parents just didn't quite get. Either they didn't want to get it for you, they didn't figure you would stick with it, or they didn't figure it was worth the money. There had to be something like that. So remember how you felt about that. So when your kid comes up to you and say, I want to learn drums, I want to learn keyboards, I want to learn how to play the bass, I want to learn how to play guitar, that's the next generation of musicians. You know, there's less and less people, I hate to say it, less and less people picking up the guitar. Now, I know people are like, oh, during the pandemic, that's because everyone was locked in their houses. That's why the used market is through the roof. These companies made so much money during the pandemic because people had nothing to do. They were sitting at home. Then the next year, they kept building, and it flooded the market with new products that they didn't have sellers for. And the people that bought the products during the pandemic now are like, well, I'm not playing this thing anymore. I'm going to put it on the market for sale. Right now, if you can't find a good deal on a guitar, you are just not looking, because all these manufacturers have overbuilt and there's inventory sitting everywhere, and all the used guitars you can get deals on. There were some smart companies, PRS. I guess it was about a year ago, PRS slashed the prices of their SE guitars, taking $250 off. People are like, well, why is he doing that? He's getting those guitars off the market. He can't produce guitars, okay, and manufacture if he's got all this older inventory sitting out there. So he went to his vendors and said, you sell it at this price, we'll give you a kickback on your next order. Or you don't do anything, PRS, and just wait for them to suffocate on those guitars, and you're not going to get your next order. Do you see what PRS did there? Yeah, did they make the money that they could have made? Not at full mark. But they did give a kickback to the vendor saying, sell our product at this, get rid of it, and for a credit, we're going to credit you on your next order X of whatever that percentage was. They were doing $200, $300, $400 off guitars, and they moved through that overstock of inventory. I think there was a couple other guitar companies that did it, but PRS was in the forefront, okay? They also changed their outlook. PRS now has an import at basically $500. They never had that before, okay? They didn't release that product until their standard SE product. They had flushed that stuff down. All that old inventory was gone, and vendors were now ordering new stock from the new ordering, okay? Then they said, okay, we've got all this old stock moved out. What's sold is sold. Now let's introduce our $500, $600 import with the matte finishes. That was smart. They didn't go, okay, screw their vendors. We've already manufactured these $500 imports. We're going to put them out. Well, which one were you going to buy? Were you going to buy the $800 SE that's basically the same guitar, just had a semi-gloss finish, or the new $500 one? Would they still sold the $800 one? Sure. But they would have at least lost 50% of those sales to the cheaper model. And you've already got an overstock. It would have taken years to burn through that product. Instead of 6 or 7 months, let's say it took them 2 years to burn through that product. Well, that's at least a year of no manufacturing. So I think we need to keep that in mind when we look at reviews. You always know what you're looking for. If you're looking for a budget instrument, there's nothing wrong with that. I got a ton of budget instruments. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But there's also dimes in the rough. You know, I brought this guitar out tonight because, Linnell purchased this guitar. What was this guitar, $450?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, $450. Got a Dragon Eye burst on it. It's got 2 humbuckers, hardtail bridge. Now this one does not have the matching headstock like her blue one. It's just a black headstock. But the body on this guitar is stupid thin. This is an S model. So this is an S621QM. And I happened to look on Sweetwater, and I do not see this Dragon Eye burst in this model anymore. So I don't know if they're not making this model now. We purchased this guitar about 3 months ago, something like that. It is a shiplap neck on it. But it's a great guitar. She has an RGA. It's another great guitar. Both of which are really light. Am I turning into an Ibanez fanboy? Absolutely not. I used to have a lot of brand loyalty, whether it was Hafler, whether it was Peavey. I think brand loyalty now will only get you so far, because the brands, I hate to say it, the brands aren't looking at customers like they used to. It's like Harley Davidson, okay? If Harley doesn't change what they're doing soon, there's not going to be a Harley Davidson, because the people that love Harleys are getting old. The younger generation is not bonding well with Harley Davidson. That's just truth. You can unsubscribe if you don't like it, but that's the trend. We see motorcycle companies building better bikes at better prices. We see manufacturers like Ibanez building an excellent product at just a fraction more than what we pay for a lot of these budget guitars. You're like, well, it's more. I'm like, right, but I don't have to replace the tuners on this guitar. I don't have to put pickups in this guitar. I don't have to change the volume knobs. I don't have to dress the frets. Now, I haven't checked this guitar, but the last one we looked at was really good. This one plays good, so I'm going to assume the fret leveling and stuff on this guitar is good. We are going to do a review on this guitar and check the frets. But from what I've been seeing, Ibanez is knocking it out of the park. Another company I think that builds a great instrument for the money, Harley Benton. I've reviewed only 2 of their guitars, but I've seen other guitars by Harley Benton from other people. Had the opportunity to play them. So far, I think, Harley Benton's got a $150 price point all the way up to $600. And their price point definitely, if you pick up their cheap $180 guitar, and then you pick up their $300 guitar, the $300 guitar feels better. You can tell. You can look at the fit and finish. You can look at how it was made. It's a logical improvement. If you look at their $500 guitars, a little bit better tuners, name brand pickups. I mean, you can see, yeah, I'm paying more, but I'm getting EMG pickups. Harley, you can get EMG pickups in a Harley Benton. You're paying a little more for it, but let the factory mess with it. If I can buy a Harley Benton Les Paul with EMGs in it for $450, you're kind of crazy not to do that. If you're going to spend $250 on a Firefly and $30 shipping, and then you're going to buy the EMGs and install them yourself, you're probably going to have a little more than the Harley Benton.
You just got $50 from Steve on Cash App.
Oh, how'd he do that?
He sent it to the Cash App.
Well, how'd he even get cash out?
Devastator.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, guys. That's what runs the channel. It really does. YouTube takes 30% of every dime, okay? YouTube is very, very hungry. They don't push this live because you haven't gotten a commercial. So YouTube hates that. They hate because they can't make any money. I'm not letting them run a commercial here. But I will turn it on in 2 or 3 days. But if you're watching live, I'm not going to make you suffer through that. Our subscribers take care of me, and I can't thank them enough. But my point in all this, guys, we can't fall any more victim of this $150, oh, it's great. I'm sorry, even if it's made in China and they're making 20 cents an hour, there's still raw materials there. You cannot put stable tuners on a guitar, buy the wood, fret it, and have decent hardware for $200. It has to suffer somewhere. Even if it's made in China, North Korea, South Korea, Indonesia, Taiwan, Russia, it doesn't matter. Something's got to give. Are there good ones out there? I want to say yes. At the $250 price mark, or even the $200 price mark, you got to do the shipping. Right now, Firefly still makes their FFTL. It's a basic Stratocaster. It's got the lipstick single coil here and the single coil here. Rosewood fingerboard. It's a multi-piece body. It's a decent guitar for $199. The pickups are okay. It has a certain quack to it. In a way, I kind of like the sound of those pickups in that guitar. But usually, from what I've seen, the fretwork and the neck and stuff is pretty good on that guitar. So let's say you buy that guitar and you put a set of Dylan pickups on it. That puts you at $400. If you don't go that way, Music Lily, believe it or not, Music Lily makes a pretty decent pickup for the money on Amazon. Is it great? No, it's an inexpensive pickup. But is it better than the stock pickups that it came with? Probably. But pickups are very, you got to understand, it's taste. Are you going to like it? But you can buy that guitar, and I think you can have a decent guitar for about $350. It's all relative. where you want to put the money. This one's $450. I don't think the guitar needs anything. I think I said it. I bought a Fender FMT. It's basically a Telecaster with two humbuckers in it, and it has a set neck. It's basically Fender's Les Paul.
Niles has to go.
Oh, okay, Niles. Thank you for coming in. I know you're doing the late night shift. And again, guys, Niles, he comes every week. I can't thank them enough. It still blows my mind. You know, I don't pay too much attention to the chat, but I know the chat's over there, and I'm hoping that you guys carry on your conversation and you do you, if that makes sense. That's what the channel's about. Everyone comes in here, hangs out, carries on multiple conversations. That's what it's about. I'm just here kind of rambling. But if you take these guitars with a grain of salt, and you take the YouTube videos with a grain of salt, that's my point. I'm not here to upset anyone. I used to subscribe to a lot of the channels that I no longer subscribe to because they've said one thing or done something else, and I've lost subscribers. I'm sure that I've upset somebody. You know, maybe one of those channels had subscribed to me and I made a comment and they thought I was referring to them and they said nope, and that's fine. Subscribers, they come and they go. But I hope that they come back when they realize, you know, that Avery guy, he kind of funny looking, but at least he says what's on his mind and his reviews are honest based on what he's got. I'm not making money from the manufacturer. You know, we're doing it all in-house, if that makes sense.
Steve said, do I put $250 lace sensors in a free $280 guitar? Maybe, just maybe.
You want to really watch which lace sensors you buy, Steve. Really do some research on it. Lace sensors had a bad habit of the bottom bracket breaking on them. It's like a fiberglass resin piece that they put the pickup down in. I think Fender has fixed it. I think. Definitely do some research. Google that. I know that the Fender lace had problems with that. Now, I think they have fixed that, but I am not 100% sure. I know that they had a problem with the base plate, the piece that the pickup mounts to on the bottom, that they were cracking, and they were having a tremendous amount of issues with the lace sensors. So just look into that. Maybe it was something a couple years ago, but that's what comes to my mind when I hear lace sensor. I always liked them. I think it's one of those pickups that you either like it or the true Fender purists don't like them. So again, pickups are a matter of taste, but you want to make sure that you pick up something that's durable. That's why I bring up the cracking bottom piece on the Fender laces. Do some research, do your homework. I wish I had a better answer. I just know that they had a problem. So you might want to look into that problem. Talk to people that has them. Talk to other techs. Talk to, even do a YouTube search on it. I'm not the only channel out here spreading the truth, if that makes sense. There's other channels out there that are going to tell you the truth on those pickups. Is it worth it? You got the guitar for free, man. I don't know if I would put Fender laces in it. I would probably, depending on what kind of music you're looking for, these two pickups right here. What are these things called, hon? Quantum. That's my helper. You can get these Quantum pickups on Reverb all day long, both of them for $50. Here we can turn on the amp. Are they the best pickups? No, but they're $50. for $50, they're good pickups. And two different types of guitars that I have these pickups in, they sound good in all of them. I've done clean work on them as well. They're just a good $50 set of pickups. You might want to look at this. You can actually just get the bridge pickup too, because I know that guitar is humbucker single. So you might want to look at maybe just the bridge, and maybe look at two Wilkinson MS single coils. I think you can get the Wilkinson kit for about $40, which is a humbucker single, the MS line, something like that. Where's that? I got a set of pickups that we're getting ready to do a review on that are semi-inexpensive. I don't know what I did with them. I had showed them on the Discord. I may have already taken them down to the shop, guys. Remind me to bring that up in the Discord, Steve, and I'll get you a link for those. I think they're about $70.
Steve
And
said the thought for me is to keep the originals and maybe swap the sensors into that Fender player.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, that would definitely be cool. On this guitar in here, if you wanted to do something with that one, like I said, the first thing I would do, since the guitar sounds so dark, I think I would just change the caps. Put a different value cap in it. See if that helps. Like I said, it may. You might be surprised what just changing the cap will do to make those pickups sound better. Do that, and if you want to put better pickups in it later, the Music Lily makes some good ones. Like I said, the Wilkinson pickups are decent. Don't overdo it. It's a budget guitar. Unless you plan on keeping it forever, or when you go to sell it, keep the original pick guard and everything and reload all the original stuff back in the guitar, then sell it and keep your mod parts for your next project. Don't let that guitar leave your house with all those hot rodded parts in it. You're not going to gain anything on the resale value, okay? On this channel, what we do is we sell it as a full setup and mod, and I just try to get the cost of the guitar back, if that makes any sense. So all my labor, and pretty much sometimes even the parts, is free. So you as an individual putting it on Marketplace, you're going to take an even bigger hit because you've played it. In this case, the guitar may have been played 8-9 times, during the review and the setup and all that, and then the secondary videos. So it's still a brand new guitar that's been fixed, leveled, frets done, tuning keys, whatever the guitar needed. You guys know the channel. But I lose money left and right on that. But the Super Chat money offsets all that. So that's why I was saying earlier, I don't want to throw any channel under the bus for doing what they do. I get it. Your investment in YouTube is high. Yeah, I just got a comment last week. They were watching one of my live reviews and they said, "Great review. Oh, by the way, you need a better camera. It's a little fuzzy." I get that. I'm using Mevos right now. I paid $1,000 for 3 Mevo cameras. I got one there, and there's one back up in the drawer. That's what I use for my live stream. So, $350 camera. A good camera, something I can use TimeSync on, that's about a $3,000 camera. Because my little Mayato XT down here with my SMPTE code, I could use my field recorder, record the audio in the field recorder, and the Mayato will keep everything in sync. Perfect. But one camera, $3,000. So I have 2 cameras running. So that's $6,000 just in 2 cameras. And I haven't even applied a microphone to capture the audio or the field recorder. A lot of my timecode generator, my global timecode generator, it's an XT. I've already had that for my Akai and my Tascam and my ADATs, and that's not something I have to buy. I already have it. But if you think of a channel that has to do that and they go out, just that time sync generator is like $700. And that's a cheap one. A good one's 3 or 4 grand. Then you start figuring a computer, your DAW system, a wing rack, or an X32, whatever you're using, it really adds up. So when I see channels doing what they do to offset that, can I really say anything about it? No, I can't. That's why I have so much respect for how Philip does it. And I'm talking about Philip McKnight. You know, I met him in person at Sweetwater during GearFest, and all I can say is the dude is just so down to earth, just so like someone you met at the convenience store and you're talking about a loaf of bread that's on the shelf. Hey, have you tried this potato bread? Oh, it's so good. That was the conversation Phil and I were having. It was so funny. His wife finally come up to him, Phil, you have an appointment. Get your butt moving. And she had to come down like 2 or 3 times. And finally, last time, she's like, and I'm like, you better get going. He's like, yeah, I'm running late. But so down to earth. And maybe the other channels are just like that. I see some channels and they've got almost like a sitcom type attitude on the channel. Are they really like that, or is that just a whole YouTube persona to get subs? I like being funny. Last night's video, everyone said it was funny as hell that I thought the camera was off, and I called the guitar a piece of beep at the very end, and the camera cut off. That was completely unintentional. I really thought YouTube had stopped because I had the display screen up. Stream ended. So I turn around, I get up, and as I'm getting up, I'm like, this guitar plays like, and YouTube caught it. I didn't realize it. It was like 10 minutes later, Linnell was like, I think what you said, come on. I was like, no, it was already off. She goes, well, they're talking about it. So that brings me back what I said earlier. I don't want anyone to think, during the stream, I was trying to be very cautious what I said, because the last thing I want is someone throwing rocks at my channel because I misspoke or I said something that was out of line, if that makes sense. I'm not that kind of person. Everyone has a point of view. I happen to be an Adventist. I'm a Christian, but I still play rock and roll music. Okay? The Adventists are big musicians. You know, I go to church on Saturday. I'm a little different, but I know I have good morals, and if I say something, if I say something bad, my little, oh no, you just crossed the line, that little guy on the shoulder starts picking on me. That's why my channel is the way it is. I don't try to push that envelope, guys, if that makes sense. But I think you can read my body language. You know, even if I'm talking and I'm being polite about it, once you get to know me, you can read my body language. And I never will lie to you and say something's good, but I don't want to down the manufacturer because, like I say in every video, I don't care who it is, they can build a bad one. There's a reason why people say do not buy a Gibson guitar unless you play it. The reason for it is because Gibson's made some real crappy guitars. They have. But the difference is Gibson has also made some guitars that the angels sing when you pick them up and play them. It's just something about it. It's got everything. It just feels magical. Not every guitar company can claim that they have that kind of history. Gibson hasn't. They still make guitars that have that magic. Do every one of them have it? Absolutely not. But people want it. And they're willing to buy that $3,500, $4,000 Gibson, hoping that they get that special one. If they don't, they keep it for a couple years, they sell it, and they buy another Gibson. And you'll talk to people, I will never sell it. And they've had it for 30 years because they know they got that one special Gibson, and it's all the stars aligned, and it's just perfect for that person. And they're going to keep it. I feel that way about my Peavey. I've got a Peavey Vandenberg. 2 PV Nitro, well actually 3 PV Nitros, I will never sell those guitars. To me, they are better than any ESP that money could buy. I would never get rid of my original PV Vandenberg. It is just all that and more. It was my dream guitar then, and it's still my dream guitar today. I still want a new Vandenberg. I don't buy one because I think PV jumped the shark. They didn't put a Kahler on it. It's not a Vandenberg without a Kahler tremolo. Period. It's not. It's not a Vandenberg without a Kahler. I think they missed the mark. If you're going to re-release something, re-release it as it was. There was a reason why it's an iconic guitar. The Kahler Killer 2700 was the best bridge ever manufactured, period. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just stating a fact. Best tremolo ever made. Do they make it anymore? No. But they could have went to Dave and said, look, we want the best tremolo that you're making right now for our new Vandenberg. They didn't. They just went straight to Floyd Rose. So I don't buy one. I keep my original for that reason. When you find that guitar, you'll know it. That's why last night when I was doing it, I wasn't getting that warm and fuzzy feeling playing the guitar. And that doesn't mean that you can't get the guitar there. I'm going to do a setup for him on it. I'm going to clean up some of the frets. I'm sure once I'm done doing we're just talking a basic setup, guys, not going through the guitar with a fine-tooth comb. Give the guitar a basic, decent setup and set the bridge up right, get the saddles right, get the neck pitch right, put some negative neck angle in the guitar. I know the guitar is going to sound or actually play much better. We talked about it last night. We're thinking we can adjust and raise and lower the pickups, try to find a sweet spot. We can do that and change a cap. I think we can get the guitar to where it'll be fine, if that makes sense. I just want to point out that just because you see a review and it's all angels singing, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, you may or you may not get that type of product when you order it. Fast guitars are just that. They're fast guitars. They're made fast. There's very little hand time on them, and the quality control and the final check on those guitars is at a minimum. That doesn't mean you can't get a good one. That just means the odds of you getting a bad one are higher. At least that's what we hope for. We hope when we buy, like my Schecter over here that was $1,600. We hope when you spend that kind of money that it has more hand time on the guitar and the quality control and the final inspection is better because you're paying more for it. Does that always happen? No. Every company can make a bad one. But when you lower that price point and you start asking for all these, well, let's just call it what it is, unreasonable specs for the money. You want locking tuners, you want stainless steel frets, you want a Floyd Rose tremolo, you want really hot pickups, you want full-size pots, you want a roasted maple neck, and you want it for $350. That's crazy. Really stop and think about what you're asking for. It's crazy. Can you get a good one with a Floyd? Probably not. You can probably get it at the $550 or $600 price point, like AOI, or I'd say Iowa, or whatever's like Wolf, whatever that company is. If you look at their guitars with all those specs, it's going to be in the $500 to $600 range. But it's not coming with the super cheaper than cheap Floyd Rose Special bridge. Yes, Floyd Rose makes an even crappier bridge than the Special. It's the one with the screen printed side on it. Floyd Rose doesn't make it. They're just licensing their name on the product. Instead of licensed by, it actually says Floyd Rose. They're just selling their name. It's cheap, so they put them on like the Steve Brown Sound, Firefly. I don't think the Solar Solar is coming with those. I think they have specials on them. I could be wrong, but you need to pay attention to that because that bridge is bad. So you're at least going to have to put a Goto or something like that. You're going to have to at least put $130 in the guitar at bare minimum to get the tremolo working. We need to keep those things in mind. I have one right here. I've played it multiple times. This guitar will not hold tune. If you pull up on the bar, it stays sharp. If you push down on the bar, it stays flat. It's an awful tremolo. And yes, it is a Floyd Rose. This is the super cheap, what I call the special cheap Floyd Rose. Floyd Rose has the Floyd Rose Special. Then they have the special cheap. And this is the special cheap. And it is a Floyd Rose. So if you see that screen printed thing on a Floyd Rose, just count on replacing it. Even if you go to the store and you, well, this thing holds tune, it's not going to hold tune for long. It's very, very soft metal, and the knife edges are going to lose their point very quickly. Exact same thing with the posts. I think that's about it on the Floyd Rose. Well, if you know the channel, guys. Oh, that didn't sound good. If you know the channel, guys, this is our normal break time, and I'm sure I'm going to lose some people. We've actually been doing pretty good. We've been in the 30, 32 people. For a small channel, I'd say that's pretty good. It is break time, so I want everyone to go get some victuals, get a drink, use the restroom, and we're going to be back in about 5 minutes. This is normal for this channel, and if you stay to the end, we actually have a 5-minute open chat. I think we're still the only channel doing it. It's something a little different. We're trying to be different here, if that makes sense. And if you do leave, please go and check out at least last night's live review.
Ted's
We
gotta
reviews
go.
to honor. Yeah, honey?
I said Ted has to go.
Oh, okay, Ted. I watched your last video on the Squire. I still want you to put a Strat neck on that guitar. I think it would look cool. That white Strat body, Telecaster body with a Strat headstock. If you don't do it, Ted, I'm gonna just have to build one because that's something I've always wanted to do. I think it would just be stupid cool. Telecaster body. I would invert the electronics, okay, with the knobs and the switches. Put the knobs forward and the switch in the back with the Strat headstock. That's like my dream guitar to do. So if you don't do it, you're going to force me to go out and buy a bunch of parts and build a parts Telecaster. All right, guys, we're going to take our 5-minute break. We'll be right back. If you don't stick in, please go to the main channel. Check out some of the channel's other things. And if you didn't know, you don't have to subscribe to chat. I want you to come in, enjoy yourselves, chat. Hopefully you're going to reach down, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit all, because YouTube will not notify you when we come live or when we do a review. So make sure you hit all. Give me a thumbs up, and hopefully if you do leave, you'll come back to another live. We do this every Thursday and every Saturday. And then about once a month, we pop an off-night review in. So we're trying to be different. Hope to see you again. If you are here when I come back, great, but we're taking our 5-minute break, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, guys, we are back. And if you don't know that I am a smoker, and I am still on my break technically, but I figured I could sit here and open up the chat. And then also said you guys were talking about the stream last night.
That was earlier.
That was earlier. So I just wanted to circle back and see what was going on with you guys. Because this is normally our review night. But since we did that last night, this is now pretty much an open topic night. I've probably already vented all my frustrations out on the first part of the stream. So now I'm kind of like, okay, now it's open. We're open format. So I'm looking here, trying to read everything to you guys. Lanil was very quiet during the first part, so you guys were definitely carrying on your own conversations. That's cool. I was really expecting her to start throwing popcorn in here on me. I don't get what the tater tot comments about there, Devastator. I like tater tots too, but I drench my tater tots in ketchup. And they got to be crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. That's how I like my tater tots. Like, you got to deep fry them. If you put them in the oven, they sometimes get soggy. So if you deep fry them, that's how you make a tater tot right there. Yep, that's what I say, Pentagore. Exactly. So, next guitar review, guys. Are we going to? I know we're still waiting for X amount of people to sign up for the guitar giveaway. If you're here, we are giving a Fender player away, and that's courtesy of the people below in the chat or to the right on the chat. If the chat window is not open to get this stream, you really need the chat window open. There's a whole nother stream going on just in the chat, trust me. So the people that you see chatting through super chats and other funds, they have went together and purchased this guitar, and the channel's giving the guitar away. It's an $800 Fender player. We want to get X amount of people in before we do the drawing. But even at the limit that I put it at, it's still crazy odds that you could win the guitar. It's a really crazy odds. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed to the channel. Then you need to go to the Discord server, go to the opt-in room and say, yes, I would like to be entered in the guitar giveaway. And that's it. And when we hit that magic number, which in reality we should hit it in 2 days, it's a free guitar. But for whatever reason, we kind of hit that certain number and it hasn't moved in like 2 weeks. So we're putting it out there. If you want a free guitar and you want to enter to win, that's how you do it. I think we need like 12 more entries or something like that before we do the drawing. So if you are the lucky winner, I'm going to email you, ask you basically what you like as far as your specs, your setup, and we're going to set the guitar up and to your spec and liking. And we're going to do a review on the guitar. Maybe we should just go ahead and say next Thursday night we're going to review the Fender player. The advantage to doing the review is last night we found a couple issues with some frets. Now this is a Fender product, so it shouldn't be that bad. Shouldn't be. But whatever we find, I'm going to address before we send it out. We're going to make sure the frets are nice and level, they're polished, good dressing, and a good solid setup on this guitar for the winter. That in itself is a $300, anywhere. If you figure a plec and a setup anywhere, it's $250, bare minimum. The plec only does X. People go, oh, it's a plec, it's perfect. A human still has to go back over it and dress the frets. A good person that knows how to level frets, I still think is better than a plec. A plec is more consistent, okay? Like I can have bad days if I'm, or I'm sick. The plec is going to do the exact same job over and over and over and over and over again. That's called repeatability. Humans, we're not robots. We're going to have bad days We're going to have good days. If we're having a good day, we're going to be better than that plec. But if we're having an off day, and maybe we got the shakes or our vision, maybe we're up too late, then the plec is going to beat you. But what I'm trying to say is we're going to set the guitar up. It's going to be a solid playing instrument, and it's the best price. It's free. So that's what you got to do to win that. So I'm going to go over to Discord. I'm going to close the chat and close this. And I don't know if we have any questions and answers. We have questions and topics for live stream. We normally do this on Saturday night, but I'll go and just double check it. And the forum has been cleared. So everyone's waiting for the Saturday night stream on that. Isn't that awful? Just wanted to double check. So that means we're open. Everything's up on you guys now. So it is 100% on you guys. I see Blue Mox. Hey, it's good to have you back, man. There's people that used to come to the stream, and then we don't see them, and then we see them again. So it's always nice to see people come back into the stream. And he's been commenting on the videos that we've done doing here for at least 2 years. So he is one of the very first people that subscribed to the channel. It's good to see him. So what's our next topic of conversation, guys? It's up to you guys. We are going to be ordering a guitar for review. And on Discord, we had talked about ordering a IYV guitar. So if everyone's still good with the IYV, the next period on YouTube should be any day now, if we haven't already got it. We're gonna order an IYV. It's gonna be about $170 IYV. It's gonna be a string through body, no tremolo. Like an ABR style bridge on it. It looks like like a PRS design guitar. That's the one that we were thinking about doing a review on. Again, we've heard good things about this guitar, so I wanted to do a review on it. From what I hear on YouTube, everyone seems to like it. So that's going to most likely be our next budget guitar that we bring in the channel to do a review on. We also have the Fender Player to do a review on. We have an Ibanez S model that still needs a review. We have 2 Kramers that need review. Okay, we have a Kramer Night Swan and a Kramer Beretta that's still in need of a review. And if we want to do, I thought about doing flashback reviews. Guitars that are no longer available, okay? And this is going to be dependent on kind of like my local community, on guitars that I can get locally that people would be willing to let me grab hold of. And when we start looking at classic guitars, it's going to be hard to say that it came from the factory. We're talking guitars that are, 15 years old, so they may have had some fret leveling done to them, maybe a couple little mods. But I've been thinking about it. It would be really cool to maybe look at an old Kramer Pacer type guitar, some of the old BC Rich guitars, like the Warlocks were really popular. People still drool over the Warlocks. I know where there's 2 of those sitting that I'm pretty sure that I could get my hands on, and we could listen to them. Late 80s, early 90s Warlocks. I think one's an 88. And of course I have access to Shandor Music. And if I didn't give them a plug already, I want to give Shandor Music in Winchester a plug for ordering my mic clips for me. And I always say, guys, support your local music store. Get a relationship with your local music store. They're there to, make them earn your business. I'm not saying give them your business, but they will work with you. They want to make money. They're there to make money. They're there to serve their community. And if they're not there to help you find the right product, there's got to be another store near you that'll work for your business. Shandor Music does that. When I go in and ask for kooky things, they say, well, we don't have it, but we can order it for you. I'm cool with that. And then anytime I go in with a Sweetwater thing, hey, Sweetwater's got this for this price, they always match it. Okay? And be like, well, they're just matching the price. Well, the difference is if I go into my local store, I can see the product. I can literally see the product. This one came from Shenandoah Music. Look at the beautiful top on this guitar. Look at how it morphs when you move it. Now, I know on Sweetwater they've got pictures and it shows it, but it doesn't, you can't grab it and look at how the finish changes. You can't put it in your hands and feel the instrument, if that makes sense. So anytime I can go into a smaller music store, get a good price, and I get to plug the instrument in, I get to feel it, I'll instantly know, am I bonding with this instrument? Does it feel like a quality instrument? I'm always going to do that over just rolling the dice on a photo and ordering it. So that's why I always try to give them a plug. If you're not near Winchester, that's fine, but they are my local store, and without them, they've helped this channel out a lot. The microphones that you hear us using, Shenandoah Music. The SA microphones, Shenandoah Music. They've a lot of the guitars hanging on the walls in this house came from Shenandoah Music. We either ordered from Amazon, Guitar Gardens, Sweetwater. Well, we do have a couple things from Guitar Center. So I can't say that Guitar Centers. I have never ordered anything from AMS. I hear a lot of good things about AMS. I have yet to order anything from AMS. Musician's Friend. I'm pretty sure that that's affiliated with Guitar Center. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm understanding. It's pretty much the same. Haven't ordered anything from them. And the one thing that I ordered from Guitar Center actually said Guitar Center. It did not. I've heard people say they ordered Guitar Center and it come in a Musician Friend label. I don't know how much truth there is to that. But if we do like retro reviews, retro guitars I have a Epiphone Dot. It's about a 2004. It's a great hollow body guitar. I love my Dot. Actually, we're going to play the Dot. The Dot hasn't been played in like 2 months. It needs to be played. It's probably out of tune. Hold on. Let me put the shutter up here. Here's our Epiphone Dot. This is a beautiful instrument. I love my Dot. Everyone goes, well, you know, it's an Epiphone. Well, I knew that people were talking about the Dots, you know, saying how much of a good bang for the buck these 2004 to 2008 Epiphone Dots were. And when I found this one, I just said, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm just going to buy this guitar. And anytime you can have a hollow body and you can run high gain on it, I did not tune this instrument. This instrument's literally been hanging on the wall for at least 2 or 3 months. I have not played it. And to be able to just pick it up off the wall, and it be that close, that's saying something. Let's go over to our clean channel. Woo, that's loud. Let's cut it back. This guitar is just phenomenal, guys. Cut it back just a little bit. Great guitar. You know, do I play this guitar that much? I don't. But there's certain times that I like to have a different guitar for different kinds of sounds. It's a good sounding instrument. Let's go up to our neck position. There's something about a hollow body. I don't know if everyone here has one, but there's just certain things a hollow body does that other guitars, they just don't have that sound. I like this one. A lot of people talk about feedback. Now I know we're not really using like an amp in the room, so it's kind of an unfair test, but I can plug this hollow body into my big rack there and crank it with a with the Friedman preamp, and believe it or not, it is controllable. This guitar is controllable with high gain. It is crazy what this guitar will do with high gain. I'm sorry. For a hollow body, this thing, it just, you know, you ever get the guitars that I talk about, it makes you want to play it? That's the feeling that you get with this guitar. And it doesn't matter if I switch this thing over to like a little crunchy sound, you still want to play it.
Play Wang Dang Sweet Poontang or Cat Scratch Fever.
Oh yeah, that's a copyright strike waiting to happen. It sounds, something like a good guitar will do. It sounds good doing a bunch of different things. You look at a hollow body and you'll go, oh, that's a one-trick pony. Yeah, isn't that thing beautiful? When I saw, it's a 2004, guys. When I saw this, we were going to a wedding.
Cheryl has to go.
Oh, I hate it when Cheryl goes. So we are looking for more women to join the stream. Music, guys, it has to be multicultural and very diverse here. It's good to have you, Cheryl. It's so nice to have women coming into the stream and putting up with us men. So I want to thank her for coming in each week. It's great. And like I said the other week, she contributes so much in Discord. It's quite comical sometimes especially when her and Linnell start going about frying pans. But if we go over to clean on this guitar I am going to roll this back. So this is clean. So if we it's just got a good sound. You can get a little breakup out of it if you dig in. We can take a little bit of the echo and haul out. it's, I don't know how I always say I don't know how it translates on YouTube. The guitar has just got a really warm sound to it. I don't know why we got on the topic. I think we were just talking about different. What's that, hon?
Pinagore has to go for a few.
Oh, okay, Pinagore. We're actually not going to be on too much longer, Pinagore. This week's been a rough week on me, and we actually did an extra long stream last night. That's probably one of my longest guitar reviews ever. And we didn't even pull the upper pickguard and look at the electronics on that guitar. And it ended up being an extremely long review. So we're probably going to be on another 15 minutes or 20 minutes max. But we've already been on 2 hours. Usually the longest YouTube streams are about 2 hours on average on YouTube. We always try to do 3 hours, but since we've already done one live stream this week, I figure we'll do about 2.5 hours tonight, and then we'll do Saturday night stream. So if we don't see you next time, Pinagore, I'll see you on Discord tomorrow night. And if you don't know about Discord, roll back in the chat, and there's a link to our Discord server. There's always somebody on there playing guitar, talking guitars, or talking about fixing guitars. That's all it's about. It was only about 6 hours. Yeah, exactly. But this was one of the guitars. People talk about, I've talked about wanting a Gibson Les Paul with P90s. This was another one of those guitars that it was one of my dream guitars. And this time I wasn't interested in the Gibson version. I wanted the Epiphone Dot. This is the one I wanted. And when I saw the condition that this one was in, I was just like, okay, we got to get that, because if I don't, I'm going to kick myself in the butt. I know video doesn't describe it, but this guitar just plays wonderful. It's just effortless. It does not, when you look at the guitar and when you play it and you start playing around with distortions with it and the clean sounds that you can get out of it, it's actually really surprising at some of the sounds that you can get out of this guitar. And the biggest surprise I had, being that it's a hollow body, being able to crank it up with that rack amp and have a very large room volume and it not get uncontrollable. Does it get wild? Yeah, it can get wild. It can, but it's got to be loud. One of the most controllable hollow bodies, well, probably the best controllable hollow body I've ever had the opportunity to play.
Tom Surfing Alien has to go.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in here.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you, buddy. We've had a lot of people swing by the stream tonight. I'm so glad to see some of the regulars come in, and it makes me feel good when I see you guys come in. It really does. I get it, you can't be here every stream, but when I see people pop in, they're like, hey, there's music and gear, I'm going to pop in and see what's going on. That makes me feel good. I like that. It's good to see you, buddy. hopefully I'll see you Sunday at Addictive to Gears channel or somewhere else. I've been missing Sunday's show. If you guys don't know Addicted to Gear, got a great little channel. Usually has anywhere from 40 to 60 people on a stream on a given Sunday morning. He lives up in Canada. Love his live stream. I used to be there every week, but here lately I've been missing it due to work and some other issues. So if you're not familiar with this channel, I really like his live streams. I don't do too much of his guitar review and tech videos, but his live stream for me, it's the people. And it's Tony's attitude, engaging with the people. So I think he's got a good live stream on Sundays if you're not familiar with it. I see someone just put in Trucker Bob. Is Trucker Bob in here? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Good to see Trucker Bob too. Guys, tonight has been one of those nights. I have not paid too much attention to the chat. So just because I can, I definitely want to play this thing with some high gain again, because this guitar really shouldn't be able to play high gain, but it's just something about it. Watch. I'm sorry, that's just, it's crazy. That's just so crazy sounding. And you can, what I like about it is you can actually hear part of the clean note coming through. I think that's part of the hollow body, the sound bouncing around inside, and then the pickup picking up the secondary, because you can kind of hear it. It's got to be what it is. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's almost like there's another guitar track playing, but it's clean. You really shouldn't play a hollow body. It should. Oh, thank you, annoying critic. I loved your comment on last night's thing, guy. When I see people post stuff like that, it makes me realize what I'm doing counts. If you missed the whole beginning of the stream, go back and listen to the stream. I had a whole rant on just doing those type videos, the highly detailed reviews. I want to be the best on YouTube. I really do. I want to show what the others don't show. We're not a demo channel here. I'm a guitar tech and CNC programmer, carpenter, whatever you want to call me during the day, and a guitar player. And I am blessed enough to be able to do YouTube and review instruments and get on here and give you the no BS point of view on guitars. Were you going to say something, hon?
No.
No. She sounds much better tonight, don't you think, guys? It's got to be the hollow body. It's got to be that sound bouncing around in there, coming in from the. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I always go back and re-listen to the stream and see if you can pick it up. And part of it is there's no amp in the room. So I hear the distortion in here. This is a hollow body. It's like an acoustic. So I might be picking up the acoustic sound of the hollow body in the room with what I'm hearing in my headphones. I love this guitar. If you have the opportunity, guys, to go out and you see it's I think the years that everyone talk about is 2002 to 2008 Epiphone Dot. That's what this one is. This is a 2004. So if you run across one, do yourself a favor, play it. Or you know, do you need a hollow body? Yeah, I do. I like being able to pick a hollow body up. It makes you play a certain way. That's why I have my little Nashville Strat. Completely different sound out of that guitar than what you get out of this guitar. But when I have the urge to play it, I've got it. And I waited. I waited a long time. And when this guitar come up, I'm like, okay, it's mine. I think what this was, $350 or $400.
I think it was 400.
I think it was $400, she said. But in this condition, a new one is $800. So it was half price of a new one. And to be honest with you, if I didn't tell you that this guitar was 21 years old, I don't think anyone would ever know it was 21 years old. Look at the back of the neck.
What does it weigh?
Yeah, it's a little porker. It is a little heavy. Let's see what it weighs. I'm gonna just set it on the floor. I'm gonna try just to balance the neck. According to the scale, it's 8 pounds, 10.6, 10.10 ounces. So just a fraction over 8.5 pounds. And that's a hollow body weight. So that's a big body guitar. So it's larger than a Les Paul. I mean, I'm a pretty big fella. And look at how big the body is. This is a very large bodied guitar. So for a full size hollow body, 8.5 pounds. I guess that isn't horrible. But it feels heavy. I've been playing the Ibanez's the past couple days, and they're only they're a little bit under 6 pounds, or at 6 pounds. So when I picked this up, I could definitely tell the difference. So I'm just gonna set this one on the stand because I put my Schecter up on the wall where this one. That'll force me to play this one a little more. I love that right there too. Sharp looking guitar. So out of my collection, the ones that I need to pick up and get, if I can just get my P90 Les Paul now, I'd be a happy camper. But until I get $3,600, I guess my Firefly with the P90s in it, that will have to do. I'm gonna put some Dylan Talks Tone pickups in it and do a little hot rodding on that, and that's just gonna have to scratch the itch until I win the lottery. All right, we're missing any questions, hon?
I don't see any.
Blue Mock says that one's the Gibson inspired. If I look up the serial number, it says 2004 on that one. Blue Mox, according to the serial number. Because we looked it up at, I got it at Guitar Center, and the guy that traded it in said he got it in 2005. So I'm not sure what that one is. They had a crown version as well that has a crown on it. This one doesn't have the crown. It has the little blotch piece in the center. The new one, they put a stripe through that. This one doesn't have the piece with the bar going through it. This one doesn't have that. So if you look at the new headstock, it's got like the little dimple that comes down with a bar that goes through it. This one doesn't have the bar. And the new one doesn't say Gibson on it either. This one actually says Gibson. Something wrong there. That headstock is the new version. I don't know. I just know when we type in the serial number, it was 2004. I don't know. But it's a beautiful guitar. I love the way it plays. Crown Vic. That's Bird Mock. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I'm going by what we were told and when we looked it up on the serial number and when we were there. Because the new one that they had, it's the headstock and everything was different on it. It was $850. And he was trying to talk me into the new one.
Jupe has to go.
Oh, okay, Jupe. Good to have Jupe here. I was worried about you, Jupe. I didn't see you for the last 2 live streams. We figured the woods ate you. I know you were chopping wood and doing all kinds of stuff out there. So, yeah, chopping wood tomorrow. Pinnacle just said it. I figured you got lost out there. IYV, Stefan said, yeah, that's the next guitar that I plan on ordering is an IYV. So it's going to be an IP340, I think it is. It's like the PRS style. It's black with the gray center. It's like an ABR type bridge on it. So we're going to see how that one works. It's going to be the next YouTube check, which should be, it may have already been deposited. So once we get our next check, we're gonna order that. All right, guys, it's 2 hours and 17 minutes. I'm gonna call it a night. 4 a.m. comes awful early for me. I am on the East Coast, and right now my time it's 10:18 p.m. So by the time I get cleaned up and get everything taken care of, that makes a really short nap time before I have to go to work. Again, I want to thank everyone for coming to the live stream. Without you guys, it's really not possible to do what we do here, especially not the reviews. If you missed last night's review, please go and check it out. We reviewed the Donner that was back here, which Steve won on Fretnot's channel. So it was a free guitar for him. He sent it to me. We did a review on it. I'm going to do a setup on the guitar and then send it to Steve. So Steve's just making out like a bandit. But I appreciate that. He did not have to send it to us for us to do a review. We've got great subscribers here. Literally went from Fretnot right to us. We reviewed it. I'm going to do a setup and then I'll send it to Steve. So again, I want to thank everybody for that. That's just so cool that we've got subscribers that do that. I think that's our 4th guitar that a subscriber has sent to us, either from, well, that's the first one that was free, but we've actually had subscribers send us our Amazon. They bought it on Amazon, send it to me. I do a review, modify it for them, and then we ship it to them. So it goes from Amazon to me, back to the person that owns it. So we've done several like that. I think we did a Valgoa like that. I think an E-Art we did like that. A couple other guitars that we had gotten direct shipped from Amazon and then went to the owner. But anyway, guys, just like we do every live stream, we're going to have our 5 minute ending chat, and that allows everyone to finish up their conversations. Okay, I want that because I used to sit on live streams. I'm sitting there going, I got to get this in, I got to get this in, and then the chat window would just close. So it does give you 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, to finish up your conversations, to get everything off your chest on whatever conversation's going on before the stream ends. Sometimes it's a little longer. I haven't quite figured out YouTube. When the 5 minute window ends, sometimes the chat window will stay open like 2 or 3 minutes longer, and then other times it seems like it just closes. Haven't quite figured that one out yet. But don't forget, we've got a live stream again on Sunday night. And if you want to ask questions,
Saturday night.
Saturday night, sorry. It's late, guys. If you have any questions that you want or topics that you want to bring up on the live stream, go to the Discord, go to questions and topics for live stream, and just post in there, hey, can we go over bridges? Can we go over pickups? Can we go over tuning keys? Can we go over finishes? Can we go over setups? Whatever it is, if that's a topic that you're interested in, put it there, and then that knows that's something that I need to talk about during the live stream. Even if it's just questions, I'm thinking about doing this to this guitar, what should I look for? Anything like that can go in there. I go and I read it, and then that's how we do it. Now, of course, Linnell's in the other room, so she yells out any questions or comments that you guys, she's reading the chat and she yells into me, when it's necessary. But again, I want to thank everybody. Thank everyone that gave a super chat. And for, what was that called? The other funds? Cash App. Yep, we actually got a Cash App tonight. That takes money out of YouTube's pocket, but it saves the channel 25% because YouTube takes 25 to 30% of every dollar that you guys give. And not saying anything about it, but that was cool. That's a different way of doing it. Super chats work too, but I want to thank everyone that did one or the other. And again, thanks for everyone that just come in and hanged out. That's cool. But here's our 5 minute ending thing, and I'll see everybody on Saturday night. And if you're in Discord, I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Discord. Thanks, guys. I'm not sure what button I was supposed to hit, guys. I think I messed up. This is the beauty of a live stream. If it's not quite 5 minutes, guys, I apologize. I lost the YouTube window. So this is like extra bonus footage. Now I got to go back to YouTube and try to figure out what happened. Or even if we're still alive. I think we're still alive.
Yeah.
So I have to go to manage videos because I lost the main feed part. And no, I'm not going to say it's a piece of junk right as the camera cuts off. Oh, it's bonus, Avery. All right, guys. I hope everyone has a great night. Again, thanks, everybody. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys give me the energy and the willpower to keep doing and being me and doing what the channel was started to, why it was started in the first place. Thanks, guys.